This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. Here now the news for October 9th, 2023. Guests lined up at guest experience team kiosks across Walt Disney World Resort on Sunday morning as Disney Genie and Genie Plus services, among a number of digital services, experienced a resort-wide outage. Refunds were offered to those who had bought the Genie Plus service for the day. Of course, the My Disney Experience app, Disney Genie, Genie Plus, all of these things are all digital services Disney offers both through their website and through their app. Of course, those in the park are, for the most part, all using the app. As all of these services weren't working, of course, there were a number of problems with dining reservations, mobile orders, all sorts of things. And of course, Disney Genie Plus, which is something people had added on, which allows them to use lightning lanes and get faster access to attractions. Around 10:30 a.m. on October 8th, the service slowly started coming back online across the resort. Guests were able to view attraction wait times, restaurant availability, etc., and the line slowly dissipated, but people still needed refunds. Obviously, if you paid for the service and weren't able to book lightning lanes all morning, you'd be upset too. This is still a constant thing, especially when the parks are busy. The more people that are using the app and such, the more overwhelmed the entire system becomes. And this is, it's a little busy right now, which a lot of people don't think about early October being busy, but this is typically a thing we see on 3-day weekends, holiday weekends. This happens quite often, and it's something to be mindful of. This is why you probably want to have your dining reservations and stuff settled as early as possible so you don't have to try and make them the morning of during a holiday weekend or a busy holiday season. Tiana's Bayou adventure in the Magic Kingdom has seen quite a bit of progress over the past month or so. The Brer Rabbit weather vane was finally removed, fresh rockwork was painted, and now more progress is happening in the queue. Boards that were previously painted yellow appear to have been stripped back to their natural shade. During our visit on October 6th, crews were actively working in the queue area. The barn was originally painted this shade back in July, you may remember. A new concrete barrier on the left has been revealed from its previous wood forms. These could potentially be the future home of flower beds. A grid of metal pipes is being laid out in the queue, likely preparing for pavement to be poured. And here you can see the crews working on something by the leftmost concrete barrier. Orange spray paint on the far left could note where the metal grid will end. Green pipes are staged behind the left concrete barrier, with others sticking out of the ground among the gridded pipes. And a flower bed behind this group of 3 crew members has been reduced to dirt. Not much visible change on this side, though this pathway in the middle of the frame has been roped off with red tape. Here you can see a crew member working at something along the bottom of the left concrete barrier. Bricks have been laid out along the edge of the concrete form on the right, likely to prepare for installation, and the left barrier will presumably get brick to match. It also appears that more concrete has been poured on the far right. A crane has appeared at the top of the barn, and more scaffolding has also been added around the barn's perimeter, as well as the wooden structure to its left. It also looks like yellow sheathing or insulation has been added to a wall to the left of the barn. Over near the Frontierland train station exit, various piles of rocks have been staged in one corner of the construction area. Some of them have been lined up to form some kind of wall or barrier. And new wooden supports to replace the former exit stairs have gone vertical. It's only a matter of time before the stairs really start to take shape. You can also see more of the rock barriers being laid out to the left of the stairs. A new concrete wall has gone up around the previously present semicircle. During our visit, crews were at work laying brick around the original semicircle. Of course, Tiana's Bayou adventure set to open sometime in late 2024 at the Magic Kingdom and also at Disneyland. After several years of delays and changes, the years-long reimagination of EPCOT is coming to a close, but it's not done yet. EPCOT construction is still an attraction on its own, and we'll cover that all now. This snack stand in World Discovery has been completely surrounded by construction walls for weeks, and there's not much to see from the ground, but from the monorail, we can see the stand. It's across from the Connections Cafe and Eatery, next to a Disney Vacation Club kiosk that opened earlier this year. In April this year, the stand was updated with the red and white World Discovery color scheme. We can see the red and white roof from the monorail. Still, we can't see any significant construction on the stand, which has now been closed again for about 3 weeks. For years, EPCOT construction has been focused on the center of the park, aka World Celebration. The new neighborhood is set to officially open in December. It also includes the entrance area of the park, the Imagination Pavilion, and the Odyssey Pavilion, which have remained open. World Celebration will offer new experiences that connect us to one another and the world around us, says Disney. Behind Spaceship Earth will be Dreamer's Point, which will be home to the new Walt the Dreamer statue. Our view from the monorail shows that there's a lot of construction left to be done in the next few months, but sidewalks are more fleshed out. 2 new white column structures are in the center of the courtyard, and here they are visible from the ground. They open up into a triangular shape with 3 horizontal poles across them. They are currently wrapped in plastic, keeping them protected during the construction. And just barely visible past these columns are the raised white walls, creating the giant EPCOT logo under construction in the center of the park. Concept art shows the logo structure will be a series of planters. The logo is surrounded by a different set of white columns, these slanted inwards. They are similar to the columns at Communicore Plaza, also part of World Celebration. Communicore Hall and Plaza, of course, replaced what was originally planned to be a festival center. They're named after the opening day Communicore Pavilion that later became Innoventions. Paneling is still being installed on the steel framework of the building. The orange nets around the roof are for crew member safety. Last month, trees were planted around Communicore Plaza between the white columns. And meanwhile, Communicore Hall will have a permanent Mickey and Friends meet and greet facility, a demo kitchen, a mixology bar, and gallery space. Currently, Mickey and Minnie are meeting in their Disney 100 outfits at the Magic Eye Theater. That's at Imagination Pavilion. Communicore Plaza will be an event space with a stage, and around concrete structures beneath this outdoor awning, it's surrounded by scaffolding. The white columns look more finished. They have lights mounted at the top of them to illuminate the stage and plaza. And on this side, we can see a wall of triangles inspired by Spaceship Earth between yellow walls. Above an entrance is black paneling with raised vertical and horizontal lines creating a grid. The wall facing World Nature has been painted with primed, I should say, with white. Communicore Hall is behind the World Nature restrooms, which reopened in June after a year-long refurbishment. And a couple of the white columns that open into triangles are on this side of the building. And this wall is also covered in black grid panels. Further down the building, we can see more of the Spaceship Earth-inspired pattern, which is a majority of the finished product. It's getting there. Next to Communicore Hall is Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, which has soft opened, but work continues on the attraction's water station. The station itself is operational, but crews are still clearing dirt around it. A thin pathway lets guests walk between the water station and Spaceship Earth. And of course, WDWNT.com, the best way to stay in the loop on all this EPCOT construction as it begins to wrap up finally. What's old appears to be new again in the World Nature neighborhood of EPCOT nearby as changes continue to be made to the exterior of the Seas Pavilion. We noted in a mid-September update that a portion of the building had been painted a light khaki color, and that hue now engulfs nearly the entire pavilion and the attached Coral Reef restaurant, allowing the building to look quite similar to how it looked back in 1986 and how it looked up until about 2006, in fact. Exterior work has been occurring at the Seas Pavilion for nearly a month now, and on September 13th, we noticed that the seagull animatronics that sat in front of the Seas with Nemo and Friends attraction sign had been removed. Painting work started a few days later with a section at the top of the building receiving that beige paint first. That shade now encompasses nearly the entire building. Some remnants of the previously present ocean-inspired blue paint are still visible. Interestingly, a strip of blue paint remains along the top of the first section of the building that the khaki-colored paint was applied to. Remnants are most visible atop the roof of the Coral Reef restaurant, which opened alongside the rest of the pavilion in January of '86. It looks as though the fresh layer of paint got wet before it was able to dry entirely, likely via rain, causing it to drip down the sloped roof. An entire wall on an attached building remains the previous shade of blue, though. The remnants of previous paint visible atop the building would indicate that exterior work of the Seas Pavilion is not yet complete. The color, however, is close to the one that adorned the exterior of the Living Seas when it opened back in 1986. The roof and exterior walls were painted their previous shade of light blue as part of the pavilion's Finding Nemo overlays in 2006 when the pavilion closed temporarily. They removed the hydrolators, brought in Turtle Talk with Crush, put in the clamshell ride, if you would, and all of that. And that's when the old color scheme went away. That's also when the mural outside changed and they put all those metal fish on it. Additionally, talking about that mural, non-paint work is also taking place on the exterior of the building. A decoration depicting Squirt that previously appeared on the mural of the Seas with Nemo and Friends attraction queue has been removed, joining the list of Finding Nemo themed cutouts that have been removed from the mural. For reference, here is a photo from mid-September. The green Squirt decoration is visible on the left side of the frame. Now, they could just be fixing these, but given that the seagulls are missing, they've been gone, they're painting the building back to the old color, and these fish are vanishing, it does in fact seem like they are going they're kind of restoring the building in a way back to its 1986 look, which you guys know me. I'm a bit of a purist, a bit of a historian. This makes me very happy. I think the beige looks way better. Like the seagulls it's fun, the animatronic seagulls saying mine, 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 but it doesn't really feel like the exterior of an EPCOT Future World Pavilion, right? Now, say what you want about the inclusion of Nemo characters. They really busied up the facade a bit, and it definitely doesn't strike people the way it used to, right? So I think it would be spectacular if the building goes beige, if they restore Tim Delaney's beautiful mural to the exterior, that sunset, which I think is such a haunting, beautiful mural. I think in a lot of ways, the same as that Spaceship Earth mural, but right before you enter the ride, like that is such an iconic, important part of that attraction's identity. I think that Living Seas mural has always been part of that. That sunset on that ocean is so beautiful, and it's so large, and it's so cool that it's painted on these pieces that stick out of the facade, right? It's not a flat surface they painted onto. It has these ridges and ledges, and it's very, very cool. That would be great. I'm also hoping this sign comes down. I've never been a fan of the sign, this big, colorful, cartoony Seas with Nemo and Friends sign. It would be great. I know they have spent a lot of time and energy putting this updated EPCOT font around the park, which is an homage to the old Epcot Center font. I think it would be spectacular to see. I'm not saying it has to say Living Seas. I know that's not the name of the pavilion. But if it just said the Seas, if they brought back a silver sign that said the Seas and it was in that new version of the Epcot font, that would be phenomenal. This is great. Even if the Nemo ride stays and everything inside stays mostly the same, just to see the exterior touched up and sort of restored to its former glory is a beautiful thing. I hope that's the direction we're going in. We're going to watch this closely. I'm super excited about it. I know for some people it's probably very trivial, but this is an exciting thing. And again, says to me that the current management cares and knows, like, that big blue building's kind of ugly. Maybe it's better. And I kind of think the Moana attraction opening has WDI's been sitting there for a while, and I think you look across the way and you're like, this Moana area is very pretty, and that big blue building just does not blend well with the surrounding area here. We got to do something. So we'll keep you in the loop. It looks like they're far from done. So it's going to be a couple more weeks of watching this facade to see what happens. But man, if that mural comes back, I'm going to be giddy like a schoolgirl. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT, and their team will design your next magical vacation, from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland resorts to the Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. They're also able to book unforgettable VIP tours, where you and your group can experience the ultimate park day. And the best part is their concierge services are 100% free, so book today. A new Loungefly backpack has joined the vibrant new collection celebrating Disney's Animal Kingdom that debuted in late September. The collection also includes a throw blanket, mug, pillow, ear headband, trading pin, and more. The backpack is available for purchase at Mombasa Marketplace, the Discovery Trading Company, and Island Mercantile. It's $78. The backpack is white with a shadowed leaf all-over print and faux leather accents. The top flap of the backpack includes a pattern along the edge and a Mickey head patch featuring the new Disney's Animal Kingdom art found on all the other merchandise. On the front pocket are two faux leather straps with Mickey buttons and a brown Disney Loungefly enamel badge. The backpack straps are adjustable and are in a matching brown color, and the underside of the top flap has a repeating pattern of the park's logo in green over a darker green background. The pattern continues on the inside of the bag, and a brown cord drawstring is used to keep the opening closed under the flap. And the underside of the front pocket also includes the repeating park logo pattern. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the opening of Disney's Pop Century Resort at Walt Disney World. Man, do I feel old. And a new limited edition anniversary pin is now available to celebrate. We found the pin at Everything Pop Shopping and Dining inside the resort, as you'd imagine. The pin is $19.99. I remember when pins were like $6, believe it or not. But the limited edition pin comes on a groovy blue backing card with retro flowers all over. The pin itself features the heads of Mickey, Mouse, and Goofy with the resort's logo in the center, and a small 20th is included in red diamonds underneath Mickey's head. A new Mickey Mouse Toy Soldier popcorn bucket is joining a lineup of returning holiday merchandise and a new festive dining option at Disneyland Resort, according to a post on the official Disney Eats account on Facebook. In the post, Disney shared this image of the new Mickey Mouse Toy Soldier popcorn bucket, which is adorable, by the way. The design features the mouse himself dressed as a toy soldier, holding a horn and ready to march in his official toy soldier uniform. In addition to the Mickey Mouse Toy Soldier popcorn bucket, Disney shared a few peeks at some returning favorites to the holiday lineup heading back to Disneyland Resort. The Mickey Mouse-shaped red glitter Jingle Bell Glow Cube will be available to make spirits and non-alcoholic beverages bright. The popular Kermit Holiday Straw Clip is poised to bring some cheer back again, and the Reindeer Parade Sipper is making a return as well. Finally, the shareable loaded torta for Viva Navidad at California Adventure's Festival of the Holidays didn't come with a description of the dish, but the image shared appears to live up to its name with guacamole, tomatoes, a white cheese or egg perhaps, a shredded meat, a breaded fried meat, another spread, and more. I'm sure we'll have those official menus ahead of the start of the festivities. And when Disney Viva Navidad returns to Paradise Gardens Park at California Adventure for its 10th season this year, Mickey, Minnie, and the three Caballeros will debut new costumes. Panchito and Jose Carioca are in similar outfits to their standard looks, and Donald has a new Santa Claus-inspired hat and a green vest. Minnie is in a purple dress covered in flower patterns, while Mickey has a teal Guyabera shirt, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, with a similar flower pattern and khaki pants. During Viva Navidad, Paradise Garden Grill will have an all-new menu as well, and the three Caballeros will host a street party featuring Mexican folklorico dancers and mariachis, Brazilian samba dancers and percussionists, giant mochaganga puppets, and Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. And as well, additional festivities will include live music and dancing, visits for beloved Disney characters, and special appearances by Mirabel from Encanto. The holiday season at Disneyland Resort will officially begin on November 10th and last through January 7th. The Viva Navidad, if you've never seen it, I think it is one of the finest entertainment offerings, that street party, finest entertainment offerings at any Disney park in the world. And I don't think anyone, not Tokyo, not Paris, not Disney World, no one does the holiday season like Disneyland and Anaheim. They have the most offerings, the best offerings. It is definitely the time of year to go visit. Speaking of Disneyland Paris, the Disney Symphony of Colors, a new drone and projection show at Disneyland Paris, will be inspired by the Main Street Electrical Parade as seen in new concept art. The new concept art features Captain Hook's pirate ship, the Jolly Roger, made up of those points of lights on drones soaring above Sleeping Beauty Castle. Peter Pan, who appears to be made of points of light but is definitely just projected onto the castle, flies across it, along with the silhouettes of Wendy, John, and Michael, who appear to be on fountains below. Captain Hook's silhouette is behind them, and they are surrounded by larger circles of light. Disney Symphony of Colors will debut on January 8th of 2024. When first announced, Disneyland Paris described it as a dazzling journey featuring a magical combination of fountains, lights, video projections, and synchronized drones that'll draw animated floats in the air as a nod to an iconic experience that once lit up the night at Disneyland Paris. We now know that iconic experience is the Main Street Electrical Parade, which was performed at Disneyland Paris from when it opened in April of 1992 until March of 2003. And a real quick thing, I mean that, we know Disneyland Paris has been on a roll with these drone shows. The 30th drone show, which just, Disney Delight, just came to an end. And then they did the special farewell show, which was one night only. You can watch it here on the channel, which I think was one of the most emotional and memorable things I've ever seen in a Disney park. That they did one night only, a big thank you to everyone who attended the 30th anniversary at any point. And then we just uploaded this to the channel over the weekend. Avengers Power of the Night, I had not seen this during its previous run, takes the drone technology to a whole new level where full characters who appear to dance are in the sky made of drones. It's unbelievable. I still can't believe that the US Disney parks are unwilling to make a move on this. I don't know how long they can afford to before Universal pulls the trigger themselves. But I think people are more amazed by these drone shows than they are with fireworks shows now. And I am super excited to see this new show when it debuts in January. Should be great. For the absolute latest on these stories and all that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, early access to our podcast every week, discounted show and event tickets, and more. A special shout out to all of our WIGS members watching who make the show happen each and every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Now on WDWNT TV, it's Boxed In. Boxed In is a casually chaotic show featuring WDWNT personalities Eric Morton and Jill Diffendahl, unboxing Disney merchandise and viewer packages, along with a few friends and a bossy little Pomeranian. So smash that like button, subscribe and comment, and keep up with the new Disney merchandise releases, seasonal releases, festival merchandise, limited edition merchandise, wishables, pins, and more. Join us Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern on WDWNT TV.